Game 4 of the World Series between the Red Sox and Cardinals after a wild ending in Game 3 on Saturday. Would it be more of the same at Busch Stadium on Sunday, or for the second straight night, the fans set an attendance record at the park? Before the game, Detroit's Miguel Cabrera presented with the Hank Aaron Award, and members of the 1967 Cardinals were honored, with Bob Gibson throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. Lance Lynn on the hill for St. Louis. Top of the second, David Ortiz breaks his bat grounder that hits Lynn in the leg, and Ortiz is able to leg out an infield single. Next batter, Johnny Gomes grounds into a 5-4-3 double play for the first 2 outs of the inning. Gomes starting in place of the injured Shane Victorino, who was a late scratch. Clay Buchholz on the mound for Boston. Bottom of the third, Matt Carpenter with a 1-out single, and Jacoby Ellsbury has some trouble with it. It's an error on Ellsbury. That allows Carpenter to move to second base, and he winds up in scoring position. 6th error of the World Series for Boston. Next batter is Carlos Beltran, and he comes through with a single. Carpenter scores. Second ribby of the World Series for Beltran, and it's 1-0 St. Louis. Bottom 4, 1 on and 1 out. David Freese grounder to Stephen Drew. Glove flip over to second for 1, and that would be all the Red Sox would get. Check it out again. Nice glove flip by Drew. An excellent effort by Dustin Pedroia to jump up. He makes the catch and comes down with it on second to get the out. He also takes the contact from John Jay. Fantastic effort by both players. 2 batters later, now 2 men on, and Buchholz gets his counterpart Lynn to fly out to end the frame. Buchholz would go just 4, allowing 3 hits, 1 run, which was unearned. Top of the 5th, Ortiz leading off the inning, and he sends one towards right center, and he winds up at second. So Ortiz starting out the inning with a double. And after 2 walks load the bases, still no one out, Stephen Drew steps in.
Swinging a high twisting fly to left field near the line. Holiday in fair territory, lines it up, makes the catch. Poppy tags. Here's the throw to the plate. It comes through. He slides. He's safe. It gets away from Molina, and the Red Sox have tied the game.
WEEI with the call. Ortiz hustling home to make it a 1-1 game. Bottom half of the 5th, Felix Dubront on the hill for Boston. Carlos Beltran sends one into left. Gomes coming on, and he makes the nice grab. Check it out again. Gomes flashing the leather out in left. Next batter is Matt Holliday. He goes down looking to end the frame. Holliday would argue the call, as would manager Mike Matheny, but no ejections were issued. And in between the 5th and the 6th, Big Poppy trying to rile up his teammates and light a spark in the Red Sox. And in the top of the 6th, runners on first and second, 2 outs. Gomes steps in against Seth Maness. They're going to give the Red Sox the lead.
And he swings and drives one high and deep to left field. Holiday back by the bullpen, jumps, it's gone! A 3-run homer, Johnny Gomes into the Red Sox bullpen. His first hit of the World Series, and the Red Sox lead it 4-1.
WEEI with the call once again. First career postseason homer for Gomes. Bottom of the 7th, Craig Breslow on, 2 outs and a man on second. And Matt Carpenter comes through with a single. Shane Robinson scores, and it's a 4-2 game. Breslow would issue a walk and then be pulled in favor of Junichi Tazawa, who gets Matt Holliday to ground out to second, ending the inning. Bottom of the 8th, John Lackey, who started Game 2 of the World Series, making his first relief appearance since 2004, and Mike Napoli now playing first as part of a double switch. And Lackey gets Yadier Molina to ground one to third. Xander Bogaerts a nice stop, but his throw to first is off the mark. It's an error, and that allows Molina to advance to second. Second error of the game for the Red Sox. Then with John Jay batting, Lackey uncorks a wild pitch, and that allows Molina to advance up to third. And in the dugout, manager John Farrell starting to feel a little bit nervous. Later in the at-bat, Lackey gets Jay to pop out to short for out number 2. And then David Freese grounds out to short. That ends the frame. Lackey gets out of the jam unscathed. Bottom of the 9th, Koji Uehara on to shut the door with 1 out. Pinch hitter Alan Craig drives one to right. It goes to the warning track, with Craig battling an ankle injury, so he's only able to get a single out of this one. But he becomes the first ever player to get 4 hits as a pinch hitter in the World Series. That stat via the Elias Sports Bureau. And because of the injury, Craig would be replaced by pinch runner Colton Wong on the base paths. Next batter is Matt Carpenter, and he pops out to Pedroia in shallow right for the second out of the inning. And the last hope for the Cardinals would be the dangerous Carlos Beltran, but once again, this game would have a wacky ending.
Throw to first, got him picked. He's out! He got him! He's out at first, and the ball game is over. Koji picked him off. He picks off Wong, and the World Series is tied as the Red Sox take Game 4 with no obstructions.
WEEI with the call once again. This is the first ever postseason game to end on a pickoff as the Red Sox win 4-2, tying the series up at 2 games apiece. The Sox are now 8-1 this postseason when Johnny Gomes starts. The Cardinals lose for the first time this postseason after scoring first. David Ortiz went 3 for 3 with a double, 2 runs scored, and a walk. He's now batting .727 in the World Series. And for more on Game 4, here's Tim McMaster and Jeff Nelson from Busch Stadium.
After Game 3 of the World Series, it was John Farrell who had to answer the tough questions. After Game 4, it shifts to Mike Matheny. An interesting decision in the 6th inning. First of all, he has Randy Choate up in the bullpen, ready to face, you would think, David Ortiz. Instead, he leaves Lance Lynn in the game to face Ortiz.
Well, just like Joe Kelly in Game 3, Lance Lynn did exactly what the Cardinals wanted him to do, is get into the 6th inning. He did that. He pitched an outstanding game. He gets 2 outs in the 6th inning. Pedroia gets a hit. You do have Choate. Choate's a situational guy anyway. His main objective is to get out lefties. Yes, he gave a hit up to Ortiz the other night, but you know what? If you're going to walk Ortiz, you might as well walk him with Choate. And now you put the tying run in scoring position in Pedroia, and it wound up costing the Cardinals because of that decision.
Yeah, they then go to the bullpen. They bring in Seth Maness to face Johnny Gomes, and maybe the wrong pitch selection against Gomes for Maness?
Well, I know the Cardinals bullpen are awful proud with their fastball. Maness doesn't throw as hard as Martinez and Rosenthal. He throws in about the low 90s. You go over scouting reports. Gomes doesn't hit a breaking ball. He can't hit a breaking ball. You've shown him nothing but fastballs. And what do? You leave him another fastball out over the zone, and wind up costing you for a 3-run homer, and that was the difference. It was 4-2.
Yeah, that certainly was the difference, and the Red Sox guarantee themselves a trip back to Boston, at least for a Game 6. For Jeff Nelson, I'm Tim McMaster for MLB.com.